Hey y'all, it's Jim from the Rocky Mountain Motorcycle Museum, and in the presence of some legends here. These are Indian Larry's motorcycles. This is the Chain of Mystery, made famous on the Discovery Channel Biker Build-Off series, and this is the Grease Monkey. This is Indian Larry's personal ride. This machine was described by Paul Cox and Larry's widow and others that were close to Larry as his soulmate, his split apart, his other half. He had a metaphysical relationship with this motorcycle, and this is the bike that Larry died on. This machine for Larry was the pinnacle of his bike building career. Now we're going to do a little walk around both of these bikes, and you'll see how much fancier and tricker and more elaborate the Chain of Mystery is. But for Larry, this bike was the best handling, best riding, best accelerating, most comfortable motorcycle that he ever built. He referred to this bike as the Chalice, and this was really the pinnacle of his bike building career right here, and a real piece of him. This machine here is just one of the coolest and most engineered choppers that I've ever been around, and I've been around a lot of choppers. So I'm going to come and get the camera, and we're going to do a little walk around on both of these bikes. We're preparing to load these bikes in the trailer and take them to the auction in Las Vegas, Nevada, where they will be auctioned off. It's been 15 years since Larry's death, and his widow's decided she's finally ready to part with them. So before we got them in the trailer, I just wanted to share with everybody what we got, because these are some real treasures here. So I'm going to come and take the camera here, and we will just do a little walk around. So we'll start with the Chain of Mystery. Now this motorcycle was built again for the Discovery Channel's Biker Build-Off show, and gotta adjust the leg on the camera here a little bit. Okay, thank you. Probably one of the coolest things about this machine is the frame is made of chain. Everything other than the neck and the backbone here, the frame on this machine is all made of logging chain, and it comes all the way down, even underneath, except for the motor mounts, back to the rear axle and up. And of course, when this bike was being put together, a lot of folks said, well, that'll never hold up. Well, when the bike was done, this motorcycle was ridden by Larry from New York City to the Carolinas for the Biker Build-Off show. And in Paul Cox's words, they hammered it. You know, they had a short time to get there, and they hammered this bike, and it held up beautifully. There's just some really great stuff on here. You can see the rear axle, no axle adjuster. Well, the adjustment is taken up via this roller adjuster here, little sprocket. Very cool. A lot of great detail stuff on this machine. And again, I'm going to adjust the camera so I can get down in here. Some really great engraving by C.J. Allen on this motorcycle. Really bitchin' saddle done by Paul Cox Industries. Killer paint job, just beautiful. Now the chain also extends to the front fork here, and again, anybody that rides a Springer knows how much abuse that front leg takes, and this thing held up beautifully. I want to show you some of the engraving detail on this bike. CJ Allen really did a kick-ass job with this. The front head is a pan head. The rear head is a shovel head with split rocker boxes and 2 carbs. You've got one S&S B carburetor and just some great engraving on there too, and one S&S side bowl carburetor. It's all magneto ignition, and what a feat of engineering to run dual carbs and 2 different carbs and a mag. Just really cool. The more you look at this machine, the more there is to look at and the more you see, and there's no way in this short little video here that I could ever really show you all the cool detail on this thing, but I've spent hours and hours with this bike. I've been very honored to have it on the lift, do a small bit of work to it, get it detailed, get it cleaned up, and of course we were able to have the bike in our museum for a short time. And I got to tell you, I'm pretty critical when it comes to bike building, and this thing is just really cool, all the way down to the question everything Indian Larry logo cutouts in the brake rotor. It's electric start, hand jammer as Larry would have it, and just a really bitchin' machine. Now, the Grease Monkey. Again, this is Larry's personal ride, and you know, for a guy that had built as many really stellar motorcycles as he had, for him to refer to this bike as the Chalice, and for him to believe that this was really the pinnacle of his bike building career, really says a lot. You know, not near as fancy and not near as much trick and cool stuff as on the Chain of Mystery bike, but as far as a running, riding, handling chopper, reliable, it's as good as it gets, man. And Larry referred to this bike again as the Chalice, so that really tells you something. Whoever ends up with this machine is going to end up with a piece of Indian Larry's soul, and again, you know, his other half. So for an Indian Larry fan, this bike, I dare say, is far more valuable than the Chain of Mystery. Very clean, you know, lightweight, minimalistic, really bitchin' double barrel shotgun shifter on here. And again, you know, hand jammer as Larry would have it for any bike that he was going to spend any time on. Wanted to show you probably the most spectacular thing that I found on this machine. The tool bag. Now, Larry's been gone 15 years. In this tool bag is an old rolled up rag and a chunk of bandana, and rolled up inside of there, just as Larry left it, is a handful of tools, some points, condenser, spark plugs, untouched for the last 15 years, just as he left it. To me, this is like gold right here. The fact that this never got rifled through, no one ever took any souvenirs out of this thing, and it's just as Larry left it. I mean, he's the last one who rolled that stuff up. To me, that's just probably the coolest thing about the whole deal. Now, as I mentioned before, this is the machine that Larry died on. You can see the remnant from the wreck right here. Amazing that it isn't worse considering what happened to him. The air cleaner was broken off. There was damage to the magneto cap, and after Larry's death, Paul brought the bike back to the shop and replaced those parts with pieces from Larry's stash. So the bike remained true to the man. So there we have it, the Grease Monkey and the Chain of Mystery, Larry's last real custom build and his personal ride. And I just can't express how honored and privileged we are to have been able to have these bikes for a short time at the Rocky Mountain Motorcycle Museum, spend a little time with them, and kind of be in their presence. Something that you know, most people won't get to do or see, and it really means a lot to us as old school guys and as part of the chopper culture since the 70s. This really means a lot to us. So Mecum Auctions, Sunday, January 25th. These bikes will go up. We're honored to take these bikes down to Las Vegas on behalf of the family, and whoever gets to be the new owner of the Chain of Mystery will certainly have a unique and one-of-a-kind motorcycle, unmatched really, of its kind. And most importantly, whoever ends up with the Grease Monkey is going to be the custodian of a real piece of Indian Larry's soul. And that is something that just really can't be put into words. Jim from the Rocky Mountain Motorcycle Museum signing off from Colorado. And if you're ever through Colorado Springs, stop in and see us. And we hope you just have a spectacular day. All the best to you and your families.